Many people live their lives without realizing that there is a powerful secret behind all great achievements. Proctor and Neville Goddard dedicated their lives to uncovering this mystery, bringing to light a truth that few are prepared to accept. The reality we know is not fixed or immutable, but rather shaped by our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. What you deeply believe manifests in your outer world, whether you realize it or not. This idea may seem shocking to many, since we were taught to think that life happens randomly, without us having control over the results we reap. But what if everything you have experienced so far is merely a reflection of what you accepted as truth? Proctor always emphasized that our mind is like a powerful magnet, attracting exactly what we focus on the most. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, who faces difficulties, who is unlucky, then your mind will continue creating circumstances that reinforce that reality. On the other hand, if you begin to see yourself as someone prosperous, capable, and deserving, the universe will start reorganizing the events around you to reflect this new belief. This happens because our subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and imagination. It simply accepts as truth everything we feed it repeatedly. Neville Goddard went even further by stating that imagination is God in action within us. According to him, everything you desire already exists on an invisible level and can be brought into your reality through the conscious practice of imagination. For Neville, it is not just about wanting something, but about feeling as if it were already real. He taught that by visualizing with emotion, by mentally experiencing what you desire, your mind begins to influence the outer world so that this scenario materializes. This is the secret behind great transformations. Not waiting for the world to change before believing, but believing first so that the world changes. The problem is that most people are not prepared for this truth. They cling to external circumstances, believing that they are victims of life, instead of realizing that they have always had the power to change everything from within. Resistance arises because accepting this reality means taking full responsibility for one's own life, something many avoid. It is more comfortable to blame fate, luck, or the people around us than to admit that everything in our lives was, in some way, attracted by ourselves. But this acceptance is also the key to freedom, for it liberates us from the victim position and puts us in control of our destiny. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil. If we plant seeds of fear, doubt, and scarcity in it, we will harvest exactly those experiences. But if we start planting images of success, abundance, and happiness, over time those seeds will germinate and bear fruit. The question is, what are you planting every day? Most people spend the day feeding worries, thinking about problems, lamenting difficulties. Without realizing it, they are reinforcing those realities in their lives. If they were to change their focus and begin nurturing positive thoughts, trust, and gratitude, their entire reality would start to transform. The practice of conscious visualization is one of the most powerful tools taught by both Proctor and Neville Goddard. Closing your eyes, clearly imagining what you desire, feeling the emotion of already possessing it, causes your subconscious mind to accept this new image as truth. And once it accepts, it will start moving circumstances, people, and opportunities to make that image a concrete reality. That is why those who practice visualization with discipline and consistency report impressive changes in their lives. The universe does not respond to what you want, but to what you deeply believe. If your belief is one of scarcity, you will receive scarcity. If your belief is one of abundance, you will be surrounded by it. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is simply the way the laws of the universe operate. And understanding this changes everything. The question that remains is, are you willing to take on this power and use it to your advantage? Or will you continue living on autopilot, believing that you have no control over your own reality? This truth may be difficult to accept, but it is the key to completely transforming your life. Everything begins in the mind. If you desire changes, start by changing your thoughts, your beliefs, and your imagination. This may seem too simple, but the greatest personal development masters guarantee this is the real formula for success. If this truth seems hard to accept, it is because we have been conditioned from an early age to believe that our reality is determined by external factors. Since childhood, we have heard phrases like life is hard, money doesn't grow on trees, and not everything goes the way we want. These beliefs were deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind, creating invisible barriers that prevent us from seeing the true power we have. Bob Proctor always said that the subconscious mind acts like a computer program running in the background. If the code inserted is one of scarcity, fear, and limitation, that will be the reality projected in the outer world. But if we change that code, everything can be transformed. The big problem is that most people want to change their lives, but are not willing to change their mental patterns. They desire wealth, but continue thinking like the poor. They want success, but carry beliefs of failure. They want love, but feel unworthy of being loved. Neville Goddard teaches that the secret of manifestation is not just about wanting something, but about becoming what you desire. You do not attract what you want, but rather what you are. If within you there still exist doubts, insecurities, and fears regarding your desire, the universe will continue reflecting that vibration and keep you distant from what you aim to achieve. Creative visualization, taught by both Bob Proctor and Neville, is not just a mental exercise, but a process of deep reprogramming of the subconscious mind. When you imagine yourself living what you desire, feeling the emotion of the achievement, your mind begins to accept this new reality as true. And from that moment on, circumstances start reorganizing to make it real. This concept may seem abstract to some, but just observe how it works in practice. How many times have you had a strong premonition that something would happen, and it actually did? That wasn't a coincidence. Your mind was already aligned with that reality, even before it manifested. The problem is that many people cannot maintain this new mental image long enough for it to manifest. They visualize for a few days, but soon begin to doubt, get carried away by external appearances, and start feeding thoughts that are opposite to what they desire. This completely neutralizes the manifestation process. For change to occur, persistence is necessary. It is not enough to visualize once and expect everything to change instantly. You must repeat this process until your subconscious mind fully accepts this new reality. And when that happens, the results begin to emerge in a surprising way. Neville Goddard always reinforced that the key to manifestation lies in the feeling. He said that it is not enough to simply visualize something. You must feel it as if it were already real. If you desire more money, it is not enough to merely imagine banknotes in your hand. You need to feel the joy of having abundance. Imagine the ease of paying your bills. Feel the gratitude of being able to live without financial worries. That emotion is what activates the law of attraction and causes your vibration to align with the desired reality. Bob Proctor complements this teaching by stating that the great mistake people make is thinking that they need to see things change before they can believe. In fact, it is the opposite. First, you need to believe, and then see the change occur. Your mind is a transmitter of energy, and what you transmit to the universe is what you receive back. If you live complaining, lamenting, vibrating in the frequency of fear and scarcity, your life will continue reflecting that reality. But if you start feeling prosperous, grateful, and confident, even before seeing results, your vibration changes and everything around you begins to transform. The hardest part of this process is not believing that it works, but sustaining that belief when external circumstances seem to say otherwise. In the beginning, it may feel strange to feel rich when your bank account is empty, or to feel loved when you have not yet found an ideal relationship. But that is exactly the key. Not waiting for the world to change before changing your vibration, but changing your vibration so that the world changes. If you are hearing this message, it is because the time has come to awaken to this truth. You have an immense power within you, but you need to learn to use it correctly. Your life, until now, has been a reflection of the beliefs you have nurtured over the years. But the good news is that from now on, you can choose new beliefs, new emotions, and a new reality. The first step is to start imagining yourself living the life you desire, feeling the emotion of already having what you want, and believing with all your might that it is already yours. If you can sustain that vision, the universe will take care of bringing you everything necessary to materialize it. What Neville Goddard and Bob Proctor revealed to the world is something that few people are truly prepared to accept. The external reality is only a reflection of what exists within us. This means that, regardless of the circumstances you face today, they are not definitive. Your power to transform is unlimited, yet most people spend their entire lives without realizing this. They accept their difficulties as something fixed, believe that they were born for a life of limitations, and settle for what they consider to be destiny. But what if everything you have experienced so far was just the result of the beliefs you accepted as truth? And what if your reality could be completely shaped by what you choose to believe? Bob Proctor always taught that there is a fundamental difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is logical, rational, analyzes, thinks, and makes decisions. The subconscious mind, however, is like an immense reservoir of beliefs, patterns, and memories, operating on autopilot and influencing absolutely everything in your life. The big problem is that most people try to change their lives only at the conscious level, without realizing that the deeper programming remains unchanged. You may want success, money, and happiness, but if your subconscious mind is loaded with beliefs of scarcity and limitation, it will always sabotage your efforts, causing you to revert to the previous state. That is why Neville Goddard stated that the true secret of manifestation does not lie in simply wanting something, but in mentally assuming the identity of what you desire to be. If you want wealth, it is not enough to just desire money. You need to see yourself as a prosperous person, feel rich internally, act as someone who already possesses abundance. If you want great love, it is not enough to simply dream about it. You need to feel within yourself the emotion of being loved, of being in a fulfilling relationship, of already living that reality. It is the internal change that causes external change, not the other way around. The fact is, this transformation does not happen overnight. The subconscious mind resists change because it has been conditioned to operate in a certain way over the years. If you have spent decades believing that money is hard to earn, that relationships are complicated, or that success is unattainable, these beliefs are deeply rooted. That is why most people give up so quickly. They try to change their lives, but at the first sign of difficulty, they revert to their old patterns. The key to reprogramming the mind is repetition. Bob Proctor said that the subconscious mind is shaped through the repetition of thoughts, emotions, and mental images. Everything you consistently repeat becomes part of you. That is why creative visualization is such a powerful tool. When you repeatedly see yourself as a successful, healthy, and happy person, your subconscious mind begins to accept this new identity, and before you know it, starts to manifest it in the physical world. This is exactly how the law of attraction works. It is not enough to just think positively once and expect results. You need to persist, maintain the new vibration, and trust the process. Neville Goddard stated that imagination is the only reality. He said that when you imagine something and feel as if it were already real, that something becomes true on an invisible level and soon manifests in the physical world. The problem is that most people do not imagine what they desire, but rather what they fear. They spend the day worrying, mentally creating negative scenarios, feeling fear and anxiety. And what happens? Those thoughts and emotions end up materializing. The secret is in consciously directing the mind to imagine and feel what we truly want. To make this more practical, Bob Proctor always recommended writing a new self-image and repeating that description daily. If you want to change your financial life, write, "I am a prosperous person. Money flows to me easily. I live in abundance." If you want to change your self-esteem, write, "I am confident, loved, and deserving of all the best." These affirmations may seem simple, but when repeated consistently, they begin to reprogram the subconscious mind and create new realities. The universe is always responding to your vibration. If you want to see changes in your life, start by changing what you think, feel, and believe. This requires discipline, as it means abandoning old patterns and adopting a new way of thinking. But those who apply this knowledge report extraordinary changes. Nothing in the world can stop a mind that is aligned with its true power. The only question that remains is, are you ready to take on this power and transform your reality? If you have come this far, you have already realized that reality is not something fixed and immutable, but rather an extension of what happens inside your mind. Bob Proctor and Neville Goddard taught that the outer world is only a reflection of our deepest beliefs. But there is a problem. Most people do not know which beliefs are governing their lives. They do not realize that they were conditioned from childhood to accept limitations, to see difficulties in everything, and to believe that life happens randomly without them having control over anything. This mental conditioning is so strong that even when someone discovers the power of the mind, they still struggle to break old patterns and create a new reality. Resistance arises because the subconscious does not like change. It has been programmed over the years to keep you exactly where you are. That is why so many people sabotage themselves when they try to change their lives. They start applying new techniques, experiment with a new way of thinking. But after a few days, they revert to old habits, start doubting, and give up before the change can manifest. This vicious cycle happens because the subconscious mind operates based on repetition and strong emotions. Everything you repeated for years and felt intensely became imprinted as a command within you. Neville Goddard said that the key to breaking this pattern is to create a new internal identity. You need to stop being the person you have always been and become the version of yourself that already lives what you desire. But that does not only mean thinking differently, it means feeling differently, acting differently, and reacting differently to life situations. From the moment you mentally assume this new identity, the outer world begins to reorganize to reflect this transformation. This means that if you want financial abundance, it is not enough to just desire money. You need to see yourself as a prosperous person, feel that prosperity within you, act as someone who already has money, and fully trust that this is your new reality. Bob Proctor always reinforced that the biggest mistake people make is waiting for the world to change before changing from within. In fact, the process is the opposite. First, you change internally, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and then the external reality begins to transform. This happens because the energy you emit attracts compatible situations. If your vibration is one of scarcity and fear, you will continue to encounter difficulties and challenges. But if your vibration is one of confidence and abundance, you will begin to attract opportunities, solutions, and new paths. That is why persistence is fundamental in this process. It is not enough to visualize once and expect miracles. You must maintain that new vision until it becomes natural for you. In the beginning, it may feel forced. It may seem difficult to believe in something that has not yet manifested. But over time, your subconscious begins to accept this new reality, and then changes start to occur almost magically. Neville taught a very powerful technique called feeling is the secret. He said that it is not enough to just imagine what you want. You need to feel as if it were already yours. That emotion is what activates the law of attraction and transforms a simple thought into a real vibration. If you desire more money, it is not enough to just visualize a bank statement with a high balance. You need to feel the security and joy of having money. Act as someone who already lives in abundance. If you desire a loving relationship, you need to feel the love within you as if you were already living that reality. The reason most people fail to manifest what they desire is because they still carry feelings of doubt, fear, and anxiety about their dreams. They try to visualize, but deep down they continue worrying, wondering if it will work. This vibration of doubt blocks the process. The secret lies in sustaining the new emotion and acting as if it were an absolute certainty. When you master this technique, you realize that you no longer need to struggle to achieve what you desire. The universe begins to work in your favor. Opportunities arise, the right people enter your life, unexpected circumstances unfold to facilitate your journey. This is true transformation, when you understand that you do not need to chase after things but rather align yourself energetically with them. Now that you know this secret, the question is, are you willing to put it into practice every day? Because that is the difference between those who transform their lives and those who remain stuck in the same realities. Everything starts within you. What you choose to feel and believe will be exactly what you experience in the outer world. If you truly desire to transform your life, you need to be willing to go beyond the simple understanding of this knowledge. Neville Goddard and Bob Proctor revealed that true change only happens when you apply these teachings consistently. It is not enough to simply understand intellectually that your thoughts create your reality. You must live it every day with conviction and discipline. The great challenge is not learning something new, but replacing the old patterns that are deeply rooted in the subconscious mind. And for that, the first step is to take full responsibility for your life.